Think about the subscriptions quietly draining your bank account right now.
Oh, yeah, it adds up so fast.
$300 a month for tools that still don't really fit how you actually work.
Yeah.
What if you could build a perfect private app for $10 in a single weekend?
I mean, it sounds completely impossible. But the crazy thing is, it's actually real.
Welcome to today's deep dive. We are unpacking Max Ann's 2026 AI coding guide to explore what he calls the Hyperspecific App Framework. We'll cover what these apps are, look at real-world examples, and explore the exact 5-step building framework. Plus, we'll discuss the massive mindset shift from renting software to building it yourself.
And honestly, the subscription fatigue is just so real right now. I think you feel it. We all feel it. It's like death by 1,000 $10 monthly charges.
Exactly. Let's start with that exact problem. You routinely pay $300 or more a month for scattered software tools.
Right.
You've got invoices in one app, habit tracking in another, calendars over here, notes over there.
Right. And none of them actually talk to each other. You just end up copying and pasting data constantly to get your work done.
They force compromises. You end up adapting your personal workflow to fit the generic tool,
Yeah.
when it really should obviously be the other way around. But commercial software companies, they don't really have a choice here, do they?
No, they don't. They have to serve millions of people just to keep the lights on. They build generic features aiming right for the middle of the bell curve.
Right.
If a feature only helps 1% of their user base, they simply can't afford to develop it.
Which brings us to the core concept of this guide, the hyperspecific app. Narrow focus is its absolute superpower.
Exactly.
A hyperspecific app is a small piece of software built with AI to solve one exact problem for one user.
You.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite of commercial SaaS.
Using generic software is kind of like wearing someone else's tailored suit. It covers you, sure.
Yeah, it technically functions as clothes.
Right. But it's never quite comfortable, and it constantly bunches up in the wrong places. That is a perfect way to look at it. You don't wait for a product roadmap anymore. You just create a tool that matches your exact daily rhythm.
But looking at this shift, I have to ask, is this movement really just about saving money? Or is it fundamentally about removing workflow friction?
Oh, it is entirely about the friction. The money is a nice bonus, sure. But when a tool actually works the way your brain works, you get your time and your sanity back.
So it's about perfect fit, eliminating the friction of generic software.
Beat.
Spot on. Now that we know what a hyperspecific app is, what do they actually look like in practice? The guide highlights 4 examples that really show the art of the possible.
Yeah, let's start with the cross-border accounting app.
Okay.
This one addresses a huge pain point. Different currencies, conflicting tax rules, generic accounting software just breaks down completely here.
Oh, wait, if you're feeding sensitive financial data into an AI, isn't that a massive privacy risk?
Well, that's the genius of this specific build. They run the app locally using open source AI models, so the data never actually goes to a cloud provider.
Ah, I see. So it stays entirely private on their machine.
Exactly.
That's huge for business owners.
Yeah.
So what if the bottleneck isn't numbers, but visual branding? That brings us to the second example, a brand-specific slide generator.
Yeah, presentation tools are everywhere, but getting them to match your exact visual style takes hours.
Right. Tweaking margins and fixing fonts for every workshop.
Right. This custom app takes raw text content and instantly turns it into finished slides that perfectly match a unique specific style, saving literally hours of busy work.
It's like having a graphic designer living in your computer.
Yeah. And the third example is custom email and calendar agents. Simple tools that filter, draft replies, and manage schedules your exact way.
Saving hours every single week. But the fourth example, this is where things get truly wild. The manga generator.
Oh man, this one is incredible.
It's built for someone with 0 drawing skills. You know, they have a story mapped out in their head, but absolutely cannot illustrate.
Right, which used to be a complete dead end for creators.
Exactly. It takes their story beats, along with some rough visual references, and it actually generates the art. It maintains character consistency across panels, and then binds it into a finished manga.
Whoa. I mean, imagine scaling your creativity like that. Generating a whole manga without knowing how to draw.
It's fascinating, but it begs a bigger question. Do these AI tools replace human creativity or just change where we apply it?
They absolutely just change where we apply it. The tool handles the technical execution, but you provide the inspiration and the emotional resonance.
Right, they automate the technical bottlenecks, leaving the creative vision entirely to you.
Beat. That is the real magic of it.
These examples sound incredible, But let's look at the 4 whys and the hidden catch. I mean, why should a non-engineer bother building these?
Well, the first why is customization. The software shapes entirely around your personal workflow rather than forcing you to adapt.
The second is cost. And the math here is pretty stark. You pay $10 to $20 in AI compute just once.
Yeah, compare that to $50 to $200 every single month for generic SaaS.
Right. The third is privacy. Like we saw with the accounting app, local handling keeps sensitive data safe. It stays on your machine.
Which is huge. And the fourth why is accessibility. The AI does the heavy technical lifting, it writes the code, and you just direct it.
But we need to be realistic with you here. There is a catch to all of this. It's not literal magic.
Yep.
It takes real time and effort.
Yeah, if you're tech savvy, maybe it takes a few hours. If you're a total beginner, expect a few days, maybe up to a full week of tinkering.
You are trading money for upfront effort. I'll be honest, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself when building from scratch.
Oh yeah, prompt drift is rough.
It really is. It's when you get 80% done and the AI suddenly forgets the original rules. It just breaks code that worked 5 minutes ago.
You have to actively guide it back on track. Plus, there are small costs, like an AI tool subscription or a few bucks for cloud hosting.
Are we just trading a financial cost for a massive time sink?
Not at all. If you look at the long game, that upfront investment of a weekend pays dividends for years. It saves you hours every month forever.
You invest upfront effort once to escape paying and compromising every single month.
Beat. That really is the bottom line. Sponsor.
So, we understand the incredible trade-offs now. But how do we actually execute this over a weekend? I mean, I'm staring at a blank screen.
The guide has a strict 5-step framework. Step 1 is simply find the workflow.
And it needs to fall into one of 3 buckets. First, a workflow you actively hate doing, like bookkeeping. Or second, something you neglect, like health tracking.
Or third, something previously impossible, like the manga example where you just lacked the raw skill.
Step 2 is critical. Map the workflow.
Yeah, you cannot automate what you don't understand. You have to map out how the process actually works today.
Step 3 is decide what to handle. This means you don't automate everything. Just find the specific bottleneck.
Right, like in the manga process. There were 9 steps in total, but only 4 visual bottlenecks.
So you keep the creative or enjoyable parts completely manual.
Exactly. Which brings us to step 4. Build with AI. You always start this with a PRD.
Let's define that. A PRD is a product requirements document, put simply. A simple text description of what your software must do.
Perfect. Once you have that, you pick your tools. Claude Code is great for terminal or complex projects.
Warp is better for collaborative or agentic environments.
And Bolt is fantastic for browser-based builds if you are a total beginner. While you build, remember the mnemonic, tiny ferrets carry dangerous sound.
I genuinely love that. Thinking, frameworks, checkpoints, debugging, and context.
It's silly, but it works perfectly. Save constantly, use frameworks, and give the AI context.
Step 5 is host it sensibly. Where does the app actually live? Cloud hosting is like renting a hotel room. It's flexible and scales easily.
A VPS or virtual private server is like renting an apartment, a fixed fee with much more control.
And local hosting, like a Mac Mini on your desk, is owning a home. Full privacy and control, but you maintain it yourself.
Yeah, the advice is to start simple and upgrade later.
Looking at this whole process, it's very methodical. Why is manually mapping the workflow so critical before you write a single prompt?
Because if you skip mapping, you just end up building a very fast tool for the completely wrong job.
You can't effectively automate a process if you don't actually understand how it works. Beat.
Precisely. You aren't creating efficiency, you just create automated chaos.
With the technical steps laid out, the final hurdle is changing our relationship with software.
It's a massive mindset shift. For a decade, we've been conditioned to shop for tools.
Right. We browse Product Hunt, take endless trials, and adapt our work to a product. We need to shift from shopping to building.
You start asking what exact workflow you need today, and you just build it.
To pick your first project, it must already annoy you. It needs clear steps. And above all, it must follow the rule of better is enough.
Yeah, better is enough. It doesn't need a beautiful user interface. It just needs to improve your process by 20%.
That first messy win is vital because progress compounds. The first app takes a weekend.
And the next one takes hours instead of a weekend. You're building a new mental muscle.
Why is aiming for better is enough the secret to surviving the first project.
Because if you aim for pixel-perfect commercial quality, you will get completely overwhelmed by the details and quit immediately.
Perfection causes paralysis. A simple working tool proves the concept and builds your momentum. 2-sec silence.
It really does.
Let's pull all these threads together. The era of software creation being an exclusive walled garden for engineers is truly over.
It's totally gone.
We are rapidly moving away from renting generic digital spaces. We are finally building our own custom, hyper-specific tools for mere pennies.
It's an incredible shift in power back to you.
Look at your computer desktop right now. If you could build a tiny, invisible app tonight that only does one hyper-specific task to save you 10 minutes every single morning, what would it be?
Think about it. Map out your most annoying daily friction point today. Just grab a pen.
You have the framework now. The tools are waiting. Stop renting your workflow. Start building it. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. OUETR Music.